Breaking news out of Denver, and this one's massive. The Broncos have made a bold, franchise-defining move. Star defensive lineman Zach Allen has signed a monster deal that shows exactly how much this team values dominance in the trenches. The contract, 4 years, $102 million. That includes $69.5 million guaranteed. That's nearly $26 million per year, top-tier money for one of the game's most disruptive forces. Now, this isn't a surprise to those paying attention. Broncos fans have seen Allen's impact firsthand. He's not just a reliable presence up front, he's a game changer, a tone setter, and Denver knew they couldn't afford to wait. Pay him now or risk watching his value explode after another dominant 2025 season. Compare that to Milton Williams, a solid player, sure, but Allen's 2024 campaign was on another level. He produced more, dominated more, and stood taller when it mattered. Yes, Williams got paid after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, but Allen? He earned every dollar of this contract by sheer force and consistency. This move isn't just about money, it's about belief. The Broncos are sending a clear message. They're building this defense around Zach Allen, and they're not playing small anymore. This is how you show you're serious about contending. You keep your stars, reward their grind, and bet on greatness. Let's talk about just how elite Zach Allen truly is. Since 2010, only 5 players have recorded 40 quarterback hits in a single season. Think about that, just 5. The names on that list? Aaron Donald, T.J. Watt, J.J. Watt, Nick Bosa, and now Zach Allen. That's right, Allen joins a group stacked with Hall of Famers and future legends. J.J. Watt, Aaron Donald. These are icons. And Zach Allen is now standing right beside them statistically. This isn't hype, it's reality. So when the Broncos locked him down for 4 years and over $100 million, they weren't overpaying. They were investing in greatness. The front office understood the stakes. They recognized where the market was headed and acted fast. They didn't wait for the price to climb. They saw what Allen did last season, not just stopping the run, but blowing up plays, hitting quarterbacks, setting a tone. This guy is the heartbeat of the defensive line. This deal wasn't about hope, it was about certainty. Now compare this to the Courtland Sutton situation. Sutton's recent contract was more team-friendly, a mutual commitment from a veteran who wants to stay with Bo Nix and finish strong in Denver. But Zach Allen? This was market value for a player on the rise. And honestly, it still feels like a steal considering what he brings every single snap. Yes, the number, over $100 million, looks intimidating at first glance. But this isn't reckless spending. This is a smart, aggressive franchise move. It's a declaration. The Broncos are not letting elite talent walk out the door. Not anymore. Sure, a contract this size might look intimidating at first. But this is the modern NFL, and when you have a defensive lineman like Zach Allen, you don't hesitate. We're talking about a player who practically guarantees you 8 to 9 sacks and 12 to 13 tackles for loss every season. He's a consistent force in the backfield, a disruptor who lives in opponents' game plans. So no, this deal doesn't feel like an overpay. It feels like a statement. Could it have been a 3-year deal? Maybe. But based on what Allen showed last season, 4 years feels like the perfect commitment. It's a win for the Broncos and for Allen, and most importantly, it shows a front office that's finally locking in its core. A few weeks ago, the list of core Broncos players became crystal clear. Bo Nix, the future at quarterback. Courtland Sutton, veteran leadership and reliability. Pat Surtain, a shutdown corner and elite talent. Zach Allen, the engine of the defensive line. Nick Bonitto, rising star off the edge. Quinn Miners, anchor of the offensive front. These are the pillars, and if Denver wants to build something real, something lasting, these are the names you keep in the building. Pay them. Lock them in early. Don't let another team swoop in when it's too late. Now only Nick Bonitto remains in need of a new deal, and he's already in early contract talks. There's also John Franklin Myers, another important piece, but in terms of priority, Bonitto is next. The front office knows the hierarchy. They've started at the top. And they're doing exactly what good franchises do. Protect your core before the window opens. Let's be clear, John Franklin Myers is a very good player. He's brought real value to this defensive line, but he's not Zach Allen. And in terms of impact, he doesn't bring what Nick Bonito brings, that relentless edge, rushing mentality, that quarterback hunter mindset. Bonito's job is simple: get after the quarterback, and he does it well. So now that Courtland Sutton has been paid, and Zach Allen has been paid, the next priority is obvious: Nick Bonito. This is a smart move, especially when you consider where this franchise is heading. You've got a year 2 quarterback in Bo Nix, and if he turns out to be the star everyone hopes he is, then in a couple of years, he'll be asking for that mega contract, maybe $50 million, $60 million per year territory. And before that happens, you need a lock in your foundation. Pat Surtain, too, is already under contract. Jonathan Cooper is locked in. Now Zach Allen and Courtland Sutton are secured. The pieces are falling into place, and that's what smart, forward-thinking teams do. It's a sign of an organization that understands what it takes to build sustainably. The blueprint is simple: build the core first. Protect your foundation before you face the financial tidal wave that comes with a franchise quarterback contract. The best teams in the league, like the Eagles, have already mastered this. They know you can't afford to scramble once the quarterback hits that next level. You plan for it now, you build around it now. Meanwhile, look at other franchises where chaos reigns. Dallas, for example. You've got a generational talent like Micah Parsons, but ownership seems more obsessed with media attention than actual football. Jerry Jones literally admitted he enjoys the drama more than winning. That's not how you build a champion. But here in Denver, the Broncos are moving differently. This is a front office that's starting to think like a contender. And that's exactly what this fan base deserves. Some franchises chase headlines. Denver, they're chasing greatness. While other organizations get lost in the media spotlight, the Broncos, led by General Manager George Paton, are focused on football. Paton isn't the owner, but he's the architect behind this roster's transformation. He recognized Zach Allen's rising value. He saw where Courtland Sutton stood in his career and offered a fair, team-friendly deal. Sutton took it, showing trust in the team's direction. And now, Denver's core is coming together. CB1 Pat Surtain 2 is locked in. Jonathan Cooper is locked in. The offensive and defensive foundations are being secured piece by piece with smart, calculated moves. But it's more than just contracts. This is about culture. Players want to be part of what Denver is building. That's why Talanoa Hufanga chose the Broncos in free agency. It's why Dre Greenlaw was drawn to this defense. They believe in Sean Payton's vision, in the energy of a young rising quarterback, and in playing for a defense that's already knocking on the door of being the best in the entire league. This isn't just noise, these are signs of a team on the rise. A team with real direction. Now let's talk salary cap, because yes, when you lock in stars to multi-year extensions, the numbers get tight. And with that comes reality. Moves will be made. Some players may be released. Others may be traded. That's the nature of the NFL. But what matters is this: the Broncos have clearly identified who matters most. They're not stuck in uncertainty. They know who their leaders are. They know who can take this team to the next level. And with every extension, every commitment, the message gets louder. Denver is coming, and 2025 is the year they plan to rise. For the Denver Broncos, 2025 isn't just about making the playoffs. That bar has already been cleared. Now, the goal is to win. Win a playoff game, win the division, make a deep postseason run. This franchise has made the right moves. They've had a strong offseason. They're locking in stars. They're building something that finally feels sustainable and real. But it has to translate. All the contract extensions, all the roster moves, they mean nothing if it doesn't lead to results. Step 1, win a playoff game. That's the foundation. That's the line in the sand. From there, anything is possible, maybe even an AFC championship appearance if the pieces fall just right. But it has to start with that first taste of postseason success. And part of that will come down to player development, especially from the young guns. Bo Nix must continue to grow and prove he's the long-term answer at quarterback. RJ, Harvey, and the rookie class need to contribute early and often. This is how good teams separate themselves by hitting on the draft and developing talent fast. And now, with Zach Allen officially locked in on a 4-year, $102 million deal, $69.5 million guaranteed, Denver just added another concrete block to the foundation of its future. The blueprint is there. The roster is taking shape. The vision is clear. Now it's time to deliver.